Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir.
So do you have any doubt from the last class? Anyone of you?
No,
No,
sir.
sir. No, sir.
Shakir?
No, sir. That's right.
Just tell me the last topic which we had discussed in last class.
Okay, sir. You said that we will our next class will be application dimension of.
So we have just finished principle of homogeneity. Okay.
Yes.
So the next is application of dimensional analysis. The first application is to define correctness of equation, or we can say to define consistency of equation. For this part, there would be, if any equation is given, suppose velocity is equals to root under 3 times p divided by rho. And it would be asked to define whether this particular equation is dimensionally correct or incorrect. So for this, try to solve for this particular equation for left-hand side as well as for right-hand side. So first check for left-hand side. We have velocity, which is equals to Lt to the power -1 in terms of dimension. Similarly, for this particular right-hand side, if you check RHS, so it is nothing but root under, which can be written in exponential as power half. In numerator, we have 3, which is just any numerical value, which is dimensionless constant part, so we can neglect it. So we're left with nothing but P, which is pressure, whose dimension formula is ml to the power -1, t raised to the power -2, divided by rho, which is nothing but density, which is equals to mass over volume. So this mass and this, yes?
Sorry for this. What is the velocity is equal to root of 3p by what?
Rho. Rho is density here.
Okay, thanks. Thank you.
Density is mass divided by volume. So I have just written mass over volume like this. So mass and mass gets cancelled out. If we bring this particular L to the numerator, its exponential would become +3. And we have already -1 in numerator. So it would be L squared t raised to the power -2 and whole multiplied by half. So according to the rule of exponential, if power to the power would be just get multiplied. So we can say, if we multiply this particular exponential, it would be L square into half t raised to the power -2 into half. This 2 and this 2 would cancel out. This 2 and this 2 would cancel out. So we're left with L to the power 1 and t raised to the power -1. Just compare the result of left-hand side and the result of right-hand side and define whether they are equal or not.
Yes, sir. Very good.
So we can say this particular equation is dimensionally correct. Means LHS is equals to RHS. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, we have to solve any of the equation and try to define whether the dimension of left-hand side of the given equation and right-hand side of the given equation are equal or not. Okay, just try to write.
Okay, sir. Just give a minute. So what's the point? Correctness of equation or what?
Consistency of equation.
Resistance.
Correctness of equation or consistency of equation.
Consistency of equation. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Have you all written?
Yes, sir.
Just a minute, sir. About finish.
Yes,
Last
sir.
one.
Done, sir.
Ikra, have you done?
No, sir. Yes, sir. Done.
Sir, done.
Okay. I'm giving you one problem. Suppose there is an equation which is equals to 3 by 2 mv squared, which is equals to 5 times mgh. Check whether this particular equation is dimensionally correct or not. Check the consistency of equation. Try to define whether dimension of left hand side and right hand side are equal or not. Here m is mass, p is velocity, g is gravity. Don't get confused with gravitational constant. Gravity is nothing but acceleration due to gravity.
Sir, m is
Yes.
mass, yeah. M is mass, v is velocity in the left side. And in the right side, m is mass, g is gravity. What about h?
H is height.
Height, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sir, and this we should send to the answer.
Yes.
You should send to the answer in the chat.
You have to just define whether they are equal or not. So you have to answer yes or no only. Okay.
Okay.
Mariam, send me the dimension of left hand side and right hand side as well. Mariam, you have done mistake here. Here we have velocity squared. So you have to square on this particular part. So they will be equal. Good, Ikra. Try to solve once again.
Here I sent you the answer.
Okay. Good, Mariam.
So can you see the gravity of, sorry, dimension of gravity?
Gravity is nothing but acceleration. So it would be LT to the power -2.
Oh, sorry, I made a mistake.
Aisha, have you solved?
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Sir, did you get my answer?
No, you haven't sent to me.
Oh,
Just send your answer to NZ.
yeah, sir.
Sir, I sent my answer. I have sent to Learnivio by mistake before.
Good. So on checking the dimension of these two parts, you get dimension on left-hand side and dimension on right-hand side are equal. But this is not the actual formula of kinetic energy. As we have learned, kinetic energy is equals to half mv square. Similarly, potential energy is equals to mgh. But I have just transformed that particular formula and given you 3/2 times of mv square and 5 times of mgh. But according to the dimension analysis, these term is just any real number, which is dimensionless or unitless quantity. So on comparing by using this dimension analysis, these two equations would be equal and these two equations would also be equal. So we can say a dimensionally correct equation may be correct or may not be correct. It depends upon the coefficient we are using, whether they are same or different, which we have to define experimentally. But if dimensionally incorrect equation is there, it will always be wrong. So from this, we can conclude dimensionally correct equation may or may not be correct. but dimensionally incorrect equation is always wrong. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Just
Yes,
write it down.
Sir, it means that kinetic energy is equal to potential energy. Maybe they are wrong, but dimensionally they are correct, yeah?
Yeah. But the actual formula of this particular kinetic energy is this, but I have just written 3/2 mv square. This is not the exact formula. Similarly, potential energy in actual is this mgh, but I have written 5 times of mgh. So whether you equate these terms or whether you equate these terms, dimensionally, both of the equation would be correct. Means with the help of dimension analysis, we can't define the coefficient regarding this particular variable. So this equation and this equation both would be correct. But in actual sense, only this equation is correct, this equation is wrong. So we can say a dimensionally correct equation may or may not be correct. Okay?
Means in sometimes to be may or may not be, yeah? Sometimes.
Yeah.
According to their coefficient.
Yeah.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Shakir, done? Okay. The next part is, or the next application is conversion of unit from one system to another. For this, we just define system of unit. We have mainly 4 different types of system. First is CGS, second one is MKS, third is FPS, and the last one is SI unit. CGS means centimeter, gram, and second. MKS means meter, kilogram, and second. FPS means foot, pound, second. And SI unit consists of 7 different fundamental quantities. So there is some limitations between these quantities due to which we just neglect them. In early days, as we define only mechanics in which we deal with just 3 terms, mass, length, time. So initially, the units were assigned on the basis of just 3 terms to describe just 3 different parts, mass, length, and time. Since we have CGS, which is defined just 3 terms, MKS to define just 3 terms, FPS to define just 3 terms, but in SI system of unit or due to advancements of physics, there are different 7 fundamental quantities. So we use SI system of unit. Suppose for this particular FPS, 1 foot is equals to 12 inches. And 1 inch is equals to 2.54 centimeter. Similarly, 1 pound is equals to 0.4536 kg. On the converting from one system to another, from this particular system, we have to solve this particular numerical part and this particular numerical part. We have to multiply or divide to convert from one part to another, which may be a hectic calculation. SI system of unit tells you to convert from multiples or submultiple or going from lower values to higher values or higher values to lower values. you have to just change according to the power of 10. How it deals with, suppose if you have power of 10 as 0, so we call it as base quantity. 10 to the power -1, -2, -3, 6, 9, 10, 12, 15, and so on. Similarly, on increasing exponential, 10 to the power 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 12, and so on. So this will be your base term. Whether you are calculating mass, length, time, or any of the quantity, this particular term would define nothing but base quantity. Suppose if we are calculating length, so base quantity would be meter. 10 to the power -1 would be deci, -2 centi, milli, micro, nano. 10 to the power -10 is nothing but angstrom. 10 to the power -12 is nothing but pico. And if you are dealing with just meter, so it would be decimeter, centimeter, millimeter, micrometer, nanometer, and picometer. Similarly, for a higher power, it would be deca, hecto, kilo, mega, giga, and so on. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So this particular type of conversion is called metric system, in which multiples and submultiples are differ only in power of 10. So the calculation in this particular means would be much easier as we have to deal with just power of 10. But for calculating this particular part, we have to multiply or divide these numerical value, which must be a difficult task. Okay, that's why we just neglect this whole part and we left with or adopt this particular assignment internationally.
Yeah, sir.
Okay, then just write it down.
Done, sir.
So fast.
Done, sir.
Ikra, done?
No, sir, not yet. Done, sir.
Shakir, done? Okay.
Yes, sir. I have raised my hand.
On the basis of this, if you just define any of the physical quantity, let's say displacement is equals to just 5 meters. So phi is numerical value and m is meter for calculating that particular displacement. If you convert this particular meter to centimeter, it would become 500 centimeter. Similarly, if you convert 5 meter in terms of kilometer, it would be 0.05 kilometer. So I've just convert from one system to another to check how its unit and numerical value gets affected with respect to one another. So just see from this part to this part. If you decrease the unit from meter to centimeter, its numerical value is nothing but increasing. So we have decreased its unit, due to which its numerical value gets increased. Similarly, on going from meter to kilometer, we are just increasing its unit. That's why its numerical value gets decreased. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
from this, we can conclude if one of the term is increasing, the other gets decreasing. Similarly, if one of the term is decreasing, the other gets increasing. It means they are related inversely with one another. Okay. So in this, we have two different parts. First one is numerical value, that is 5. And second one is its unit, that is U. So we can say numerical value and unit to define that particular physical quantity are related inversely with one another. So we can say numerical value and its unit are related inversely with one another. If you convert this particular proportionality sign, it would be some constant K divided by U. If you bring this particular unit to the other side, it will become N into U is equals to some constant. It means product of numerical value and specified unit for the measurement of that particular quantity in all of different system of unit must be always constant. So suppose you have a quantity X, which is represented by N into U. So X is nothing but any physical quantity. N is nothing but numerical value for its measurement, and U is nothing but a specified unit for its measurement. So here N is numerical value, U is a specified unit, and X is any physical quantity. This product of N into U is always constant for any of different quantity. So from this we can conclude numerical value and its unit in any first system of unit should be equals to numerical value and its unit for any of the second system of unit. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Sir, but what is K? You told K.
K is proportionality constant here to remove this particular proportionality sign.
To make it equal. Yes, I know, but what's
Yeah.
exactly it? It's symbol of what?
To change this particular proportionality sign to get equals to sign, we have to replace it by some constant part. That way we have used K.
Okay. What about N1, U1 is equal to N to U2?
Since I've just defined 5 meter is equals to 500 centimeter is equals to 0.05 kilometer, it means numerical value and its unit in this particular system is equals to this and is equals to this. So we can say the product of numerical value and its unit for any of the system is always constant. So whether it would be in first system, whether it would be in second system, so we can write N1 U1 is equals to N2 U2 is equals to N3 U3.
Okay. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Now we have to convert this particular unit in terms of dimensions. So what we can write it in terms of dimension, unit can be written as M to the power X, L to the power Y, and T to the power Z. So if we put this particular part in this equation, it would be N1 M1 times X, L1 times Y, and T1 times Z, as we are dealing with the first system of unit, would be equals to N2, M2 times of X, L2 times of Y, and T2 times of Z. So we have to convert the value of N1 into value of N2. So we have to remove N2 from this equation. So bring this whole part to the other side. So what we're left with? N2 is equals to N1. On bringing it to the other side, it will move to the denominator. So it will be M1 divided by M2 whole to the power common as X. Similarly, N1 over L2 whole to the power common as Y, and T1 over T2 whole to the power common as Z. So I've just defined a formula to convert one system of unit into another. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Shakir, any doubt?
No, sir, fine.
Ikra?
No, sir.
Okay, just write it down. I'm giving some example how to solve these type of relationship.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Shakir, done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first, how to solve problems on this particular relation. Convert 7 Newton force into CS unit. For any of the relation, just first write it down all the information which are given in the question. We have 7 Newton force. So we can write F is equals to 7 Newton. This particular quantity is in SI unit. We have to convert this unit in terms of CGS. So just see, numerical value in first system of unit is 7. Write the dimension formula of force. It is nothing but mLt to the power minus 2. So the exponential of m is x, which is equals to 1. Exponential of L is nothing but y, which is also equals to 1. And exponential of P is z, which is equals to minus 2. So from this given question, we have to derive these parts. Now make a conversion table to convert one quantity into another, like this. In left hand side, we have SI unit, in which mass, length, and time. Mass is in kilogram, length is measured in terms of meter, and time is measured in terms of second. We have to convert it in terms of CGS unit. So the second part is CGS unit, in which mass is calculated in terms of gram, length is calculated in terms of centimeter, and time is being in second. So now just see, we have to convert it to this part. Check whether their units are equal or not. We have kilogram here and we have just gram here. So convert this part in terms of gram. So it would be 1000 gram. Similarly, on converting meter to centimeter, it would be 100 centimeter. And here time is common in both these two systems. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So could you explain again?
We have to first convert SI system of unit into CJ system of unit. So make a conversion table. Just write left-hand side the quantity in which the given term from the question, that is in SI system of unit, in which mass is measured in kilogram, length is measured in meter, and time is being measured in seconds. But in right-hand side, we have to convert all the term in CGS unit, in which mass is measured in terms of gram, length in centimeter, and time in second. Just see the conversion. We have left-hand side kilogram, and we have to convert it into gram. So just multiply it by 1,000. As we discussed a table here, the base quantity would be gram. And here we have kilo. So on going from this point to this point, we have to multiply by 1,000. Similarly, meter to centimeter, we have to just convert it by 10 to the power 2 and so on. So I have just used that relation. So 1 kg is equals to 1,000 gram and 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter. And in time, both units are same. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now use the formula as we have derived. So N2 is equals to N1, M1 divided by M2 whole to the power X. Similarly, L1 over L2 to the power Y and T1 over T2 whole to the power Z. Just put all the values in this expression and try to find for N2. Okay? Put all the values of this particular term from this table and so on and try to find for N2. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, try to solve.
Sorry, sir. I was having poor network.
Yes.
I was facing network error. Now it's fine. I was disconnected now. Not disconnected. I was near to disconnect. So we should do the answer is sent to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So can you solve it?
Just 1 minute.
Sir, how to, I cannot, I can solve it, but how to send it to you?
Send your answer, and in place of exponential, just write the number as well. Mariam, have you solved?
No, sir.
Aisha?
No, sir, I'm doing.
Okay,
Oh,
just
but
see
can
how
you-
to solve. Just see. Here we have n1. n1 is nothing but 7. So put the value of n1 as 7. m1 is nothing but 1000 gram. So it will be 10 to the power 3 gram. Divide by m2, which is equals to 1 gram. And whole to the power x. X is 1. Similarly, just see the value of L1, which is equals to 10 to the power 2 centimeter. L2, which is equals to 1 centimeter, whole to the power y, which is nothing but 1. Similarly, for time 1 second and time 1 second, and whole to the power -2. Is it clear? I've just written all the values from this table and this 4 part. Now try to simplify it. 7 into gram and gram gets cancelled out. So we have 10 to the power 3 and over power 1. So it will be just 10 to the power 3. Similarly, centimeter and centimeter gets cancelled out. So 10 to the power 2 and multiplied by 1. So it will be 10 to the power 2. And any of the exponential to the 1, it would also be 1. So we're left with nothing but 7 into 10 to the power 5. So how to write your answer? Just write 7 Newton force is equals to 7 into 10 to the power 5 in new unit or in CGS unit. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So this is n is equal to f into 10 to the power of 5, yeah?
Yeah,
In CGS.
CGS unit. So
Okay.
just remember some values. 1 joule in SI system of unit is equals to 10 to the power 7 erg in CGS system of unit. That means for energy. Similarly, 1 Newton of force in SI system of unit is equals to 10 to the power 5 dyne in terms of CGS system of unit. So this is your SI unit and this is your CGS unit and this is the conversion rate, how to convert it. This is nothing but energy and this is nothing but force.
Sir, we are using SI unit, yeah?
Yeah, we have to deal with all terms with SI unit.
So, sir, what's the use for using for CGS and
you have
and
to
the
just
other-
remember and nothing more.
Okay.
The question would be in CGS unit or would be in SI unit. So you have to convert all the quantity first into SI unit and then try to solve.
Done, sir.
Done, sir. Done, sir.
Shakir done?
Yes, sir. Yes. Fine. Now I'm done.
Similarly, if I have given you some twist question regarding this, if there is convert 2-watt power into CGS unit. There is no twist in this equation. This is nothing but power and which we have to convert into the CGS unit. Apply the same rule and try to solve it.
Sir, can I ask something? Sir, I'm getting the answer, but my answer is really so big answer. So we
Just tell
have
your
to
answer.
take the
Yes.
dimensional formula of power, isn't it? So it will be M1, L2, and T minus 3. Is that
Good.
right?
So the value of x is nothing but 1, and y is nothing but 2, and z is nothing but minus 3. Here we have numerical value n1, which is equals to 2. Just write all the values from this part in the equation, which we have derived, and try to simplify it. Mariam, it would be 2 raised to the power plus 1. Otherwise,
Okay,
it is
sir.
correct.
Okay, sir.
N2 would be equals to N1, M1 over M2.
Sir, sorry, can you just wait a few minutes? I'm about to finish. Then I will send you
Okay.
the answer, okay?
I'm not solving, I'm just writing the formula. You have to just put all the values here and try to simplify it. Aisha, have you solved?
Doing, sir.
Okay. Good graph. Shakir, have you solved?
Sir, I'm very about to finish. I'm very
Okay.
Sir, I have said.
No.
No?
No.
Can you please solve it?
Okay, just see. Here we have N1, which is equals to 2. M1 was nothing but 10 to the power 3 gram, divided by M2, which is equals to 1 gram, raised to the power X, which is equals to 1. Similarly, L1 is equals to 100 centimeter, L2 is equals to 1 centimeter, raised to the power 2, and T1 is equals to 1 second, and T2 is also 1 second, and raised to the power minus 3. So it would be 2 into 10 to the power 3 into 10 to the power 2 and raised to the power 2. So it becomes 10 to the power 4. 1 into any of the exponential, it would also be 1. So we're left with nothing but 2 into 10 to the power 7. So we can write 2 watt power is equals to 2 into 10 to the power 7 in new unit.
Sir,
Is it clear? Yes.
L1, it's in SI unit, yeah? We will consider it SI unit.
The first quantity would always be given in terms of SI unit, and we have to convert it in terms of CGS.
CGS. So
Yeah.
in SI unit, what's the unit, sir?
I have just make a table of this particular SI unit. In SI unit, mass is in terms of kg. We have to convert it in terms of gram. So just multiply it by 1000.
Make it gram, yeah.
Yeah. Similarly, length is in meters. So we have to convert it in centimeter. So it would be 100 centimeter. And here time in both of unit remains the same. That is 1 second.
Okay, this one I made a mistake.
So you have to use this particular table to convert it.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Aisha, is it clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Just write it down.
So there, the SI unit for SI unit for length is 1 meter, yeah?
Yeah.
And for CGS, it is 1 second.
1 centimeter.
Oh, yes, sorry, 1 centimeter. Okay. Oh, fine.
Thanks, sir.
Shakir, have you written?
Yes, sir. Others I can do by myself. I'm fine. Done.
Done? Okay. Let me give you one twisted problem. If you have to convert 5 Pascal pressure into a system of unit in which mass, length, time is measured as 100 gram, 10 centimeter, 10 second, respectively. In this question, there is some twist. We have given 5 Pascal pressure. So P is equals to 5 Pascal. So N1 would be 5 and pressure whose dimension formula is m to the power 1, L to the power -1 and T raised to the power -2. So X would be 1, Y would be -1 and Z would be -2. You have to make a table for conversion of one system to another. Just see this. In this particular quantity, which is given in terms of SI unit. So just write mass, length, and time in terms of SI unit, that is 1 kg, 1 meter, and 1 second. In the next term, they have given a new unit. So we can call it as new unit. And new unit is defined as for mass, length, and time, there is measured value as 100, 10, and 10. So M2 is nothing but 100 gram, L2 is nothing but 10 centimeter, and T2 is nothing but 10 second. Okay, so just convert all the values of this SI unit in this particular unit if they are not equal or not being same term. So we have in left hand side kg and right hand side in terms of gram. So convert it by multiplying by 1000. Similarly, there is meter in left hand side. So I have to convert it in centimeter. So it will be 100 centimeter. And time in same unit for either of the two systems. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Shakir, any doubt?
Sir, what about time?
Time is in same unit for either of the two terms. Here it is second and here it is also second. Numerical value may be of different term, but unit would be same.
Okay, I get.
So just write the equation N2, which is equals to N1, M1 over M2
Okay, sir.
to the power X, L1 over L2 to the power Y, and T1 over T2 to the power Z. Put all the values of this particular equation and try to simplify it. Okay, Shakir?
Okay, sir, fine.
Okay.
Now I will send you the answer.
So for the value of time, will there be a change because here it's 1/10, or it will be the exponential form?
Here we have 1 second, which is in SI unit as second, and here we have also in second. Numerical value may change in either of the two different systems, but check whether their SI unit remains the same or different.
Okay, so it's the same. So
So
they will
just
be
put their values as well. Let me check, Mariam, 1 minute. Mariam, check your answer once again. There is some error. Ikra, check your answer.
okay.
No, Shakir, just check your calculation.
So it's wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Wait a minute.
Just see the exponential. Y is nothing but -1 and Z is nothing but -2. Aisha, have you solved?
No, sir, doing.
So I'm not able to analyze my mistake.
Okay, just see. You have done mistake here in the exponential of t. Just see there.
Sir?
Shakir, you are almost correct. But just tell me, why is it -5? From where you got negative sign?
Sir, in length there is -1.
On converting this unit from one to another, only the exponential will get
Okay,
changed.
okay, sorry, I remember. Sorry. Just wait, okay? I will finish it.
Ikra, got your mistake?
No, sir.
Okay. Mariam,
No,
have you find
sir.
your mistake? Okay. Let me solve. Here we have n1, which is nothing but 5. So if you put the value of n1 as 5, m1 is nothing but 10 to the power 3. Divide by m2, which is just 100, or we can write 10 to the power 2, whole to the power x, which is 1. Similarly, for L1, which is equals to 10 to the power 2 centimeter, and 10 centimeter whole to the power minus 1. So for time, it is 1 second in SI system of unit and 10 second in new unit, and there is raised power as minus 2. So how to solve this? 5, 10 to the power 2 and 10 to the power 3 would cancel out. So we're left with nothing but 10 to the power 1 and whole multiplied by power 1 only. Similarly, 10 and 100 would cancel out. So we're left with 10 to the power 1 and whole multiplied by minus 1. We can write this particular term as 1 over 10 to the power minus 2. So on switching numerator to denominator, its exponential would become positive. So it will be 10 to the power 1 to the power 2. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now just simplify it. Here we have 5. 10 to the power 1 into 1, so it would be 1. 10 to the power 1 into minus 1, so it would be minus 1. And 10 to the power 1 into 2, so it would be plus 2. Now solve. 10 to the power plus 1, 10 to the power minus 1, 10 to the power plus 2. So 1 minus 1 would cancel out. So we're left with nothing but 10 to the power 2, which would be just 500. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
No, my mistake was in L. I wrote 10 raised to minus 2.
Okay. Mariam, have you got your
Yes.
mistake?
Just
Okay.
kept the 1 by 10 as it was. I did not switch.
Okay. Shakir, is it clear?
Yes, sir, it's fine. Sir, I just made the mistake in the time dimension because sir, I made it like, you know what, 1 divided by 10, so it is 0.1, yeah? Yeah, so I applied that.
Okay.
It's wrong, yeah? It means that it's wrong. I can shift it by the 10 by 1 by cutting the minus sign, yeah?
No, you have just put this particular value as 1 by 10, or you can, or you have write it as 0.1.
No, the mass dimension I get correct, length dimension also I get correct, but time direction I am talking about. Can I
So
make
if
it
you take
0.1?
0.1 whole to the power minus 2,
Yeah.
we have negative exponential here. So we have to make it positive. So we have to switch denominator to numerator and numerator to denominator to make this particular exponential to be positive.
Okay, sir. Here was my mistake. I made 0.1, and then I applied it.
Okay.
Now I understand.
Have you all written?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm giving one more problem and try to solve. Convert 1 calorie energy into a system of unit in which mass, length, time is measured as alpha kg, beta meter, and gamma second, respectively. So just see, here we have 1 calorie energy. Calorie is not the SI unit. So you have to first convert that particular unit in terms of SI unit. 1 calorie is equals to 4.186 joule, or you may write it as 4.2 joule. So now this particular term is your numerical value in first system of unit. That means N1 is equals to 4.2, and we are dealing with just energy. In the next part, we have to convert all term as alpha kg, beta meter, and gamma second. So first of all, make a table of conversion. Put left hand side all term in SI unit, and right hand side mass is in term of alpha kg, length in terms of beta meter, and time in terms of gamma second. And put all the values in the expression of solving and try to simplify it. Is it clear?
So what's the time dimension in?
As we have dealt with in previous problem with numerical part only, here on the basis of that particular conversion, they have given you in terms of alpha, beta, and gamma. So you have to answer in terms of alpha, beta, and gamma as well. Just see, in left hand side, we have SI unit, and in right hand side, we have new unit. So in new unit, mass is given in terms of alpha kg, length is given in terms of beta meter. So here we have alpha kg, beta meter, and gamma second. And in left hand side, mass is in kg, length is in meter, and time is in second. So just check whether any conversion is needed from left hand side to right hand side. Check on the basis of unit of each quantity, whether there is need of
Unit
any
is 10.
conversion. Yeah. So if unit on both sides remains the same, so there is no need of conversion from this part to this part. So now apply the formula of N2 and put all the values from this table and try to simplify it. You will get the answer. Ikram, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, try to simplify it.
Sir, no any numerical value for alpha and beta in the other one that.
No, you have to answer in terms of alpha, beta, and gamma.
Okay, sir. Fine. Sir, what's T2?
T2 is gamma second.
Gamma?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mariam, check your calculation once again. In this whole table, there is only 1, 1, 1. So if you multiply 1 by any of the term, it would remain the same. So from where you got 4, just check your calculation. And what about alpha, beta, gamma? From where you got 2 other than 4.2 to get multiplied by 4.2?
Sir,
Yes.
If for the how should I send you my answer now? No sign, no any numerical value or sign for the alpha and beta and the gamma.
Just write ALPHA as alpha, then similarly beta as BETA, and then for gamma, GAMMA, like this one. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Good, Ikra.
So,
Almost correct, Mariam. But just check the exponential of alpha, beta, and gamma, whether it would be same or there would be some negative or positive sign over there.
Sir, can you please do it?
What happened, Aisha?
Sir, I'm stuck
In calculation?
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you, sir.
Shakir, have you solved?
sir, I have reached the last point, but I can't solve this alpha and beta.
Okay, okay. Mariam, just see the how to solve it. Here we have N1, which is equals to 4.2. M1 is 1 kg divided by M2, which is alpha kg, to the power X, which is 1. L1, which is 1 meter, divided by beta meter, which is Y is equals to 1. And time, 1 second divided by 1 gamma second, whole to the power -2. So it would be 4.2. And here we have 1 over alpha. So on switching this particular denominator to the numerator, what would the exponential this alpha, Mariam?
Sir, once again, I couldn't hear.
Since we have 1 over alpha to the power +1, so I have to switch this particular denominator into numerator. So how will its exponential
Alpha
change?
-1.
Good. So it will become alpha -1. Similarly, tell me for beta.
Beta -1. -2.
So it will be beta -2. And what about for gamma?
Gamma raised to 2.
Good. So this would be your answer.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir, this is my answer. This is my answer, same, sir. But I didn't know
Good.
how to write this sign for you in the chat. That's the problem.
Okay, okay. You have to answer it like
Yes, it was
4.2
4.2 into it was sir 4.2
alpha
into 1 by alpha and into 1 by beta into gamma square.
You have to answer like this: alpha -1, beta, or you may write it as exponential like this, -2, and gamma like this.
Yes, sir. Sorry, I was not comfortable using the keyboard. That's all.
Okay, so we have solved all different types of conversion. So we have finished this particular part. There is one more interesting segment in this particular application of dimensionless. First of all, write it down, all of you which have not solved yet.
Sir.
Aisha?
Done, sir.
Okay, done.
Sir, I think the time is near to finish. Sir, can I leave because some urgent situation is happening?
Okay, you may leave.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye. See you later.
Okay. There is third application, that is deducing relationship. I'm giving you some tips how to approach this particular problem, how to derive any relationship between physical quantity. For this, you have to first define which quantity we have to calculate and the dependency of that particular quantity on what factor. Let's say if a quantity Q is depending on A, B, and C, these three different physical quantities. So we can approach it like Q proportional to A, B, C. Since these two quantities would maybe in difference with their dimension, so we have to equate them. So there would be some exponential over there to equate them. So I have just written X, Y, Z respectively for the exponential of each term. Now we have here proportionality sign. So if we remove it, we need some proportionality constant. Let's say it is K. So it would be A raised to the power X, B raised to the power Y, and C raised to the power Z. Now, this would be your final formula to calculate that particular given quantity Q. So for any of the problem, just try to approach like this. First, to define this particular Q and the dependency of that particular Q on A, B, C. Similarly, for this particular relationship, I'm giving you one problem. The centripetal force acting on a body moving along circular path depends upon mass of body, velocity, and radius of path. Put K is equals to 1 and try to derive this particular relationship. So first of all, in the question, there is given, we have to calculate for centripetal force. Now check on what are the factors this particular centripetal force is depending. So first one is mass, second one is velocity, and third one is the radius of circular path. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So let's say we have a circular path like this, and there is a body having mass m going with velocity v and circular path having radius r. So this particular force, so there is need of a force which keeps the body along this particular circular path so that it will move along this trajectory. Otherwise, it would fly off tangentially. So that particular force which keeps a body along circular path is called centripetal force. So from this particular relation, let's say F is equals to some proportionality constant. And the term which are dependency of this particular force are M, V, and R. Let's say it has some raised exponential as X, Y, and Z. So from this, we have just derived a relation for force and their dependency. Any doubt till now?
No, sir.
Okay,
Next
could you
is,
repeat?
I have just derived a relationship depending upon the question which is asking here. We have to define centripetal force, and there is a relation or there is dependency of that particular centripetal force on mass, velocity, and radius. So we have to first define on what quantity or on what factor the given quantity is depending on. So it is depending on these three factors: mass, velocity, and radius. And which quantity we have to calculate? So we have to calculate this particular centripetal force. So from this information, I have just derived a formula like F, which we have to calculate, is equals to K, some proportionality constant, and the dependency factor is mass, velocity, and radius. Is it clear? Ikra?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, according to principle of homogeneity, it states if two physical quantities are related with sum is equals to, it means the dimension formula of left hand side and right hand side should be equal. Okay. So for that reason, just put the dimension of each part. So for the left hand side, it is mLt raised to the power -2 for force. K is nothing but proportionality constant, which may be any numerical value having dimensionless part, so neglect it. M raised to the power x. V is nothing but Lt to the power -1 whole raised to the power y. R is nothing but length raised to the power z. So on simplifying, it would be m raised to the power x, L raised to the power y, t raised to the power -y, and L raised to the power z. So we have two different lengths. First one is L raised to the power y, and second one is L raised to the power z. They are in multiplication. So the exponential would add it. So we're left with m raised to the power x, L raised to the power y plus z, and t raised to the power -z. Is it clear till now?
Yes, sir.
I've just written the dimension formula on left-hand side and right-hand side. And on the basis of that, I have just simplified the exponential of each segment. Now, according to principle of homogeneity, if two quantities are related by is equals to, then dimension on left-hand side and dimension on right-hand side should be equal. So for that reason, compare the exponential of each term individually. First, for exponential of m, second, for exponential of L, and third, exponential of p. For the exponential of n, in left-hand side we have 1, and in right-hand side we have x. So it would be x is equals to 1. Similarly, for the exponential of L, in left-hand side it was 1, and in right-hand side it was 5 plus z. So it would be 1. And similarly for the exponential of t, in left-hand side -2, and in right-hand side -z. So it would be -z is equals to -2. Is it clear? Mariam?
Sir, is it negative y equals to -2, right?
Just see. Here we have m raised to the power x in right-hand side. Just see in left-hand side what we have for mass. Here we have m raised to the power plus x, and here we have m raised to the power 1. So x would be nothing but?
No, sir. The t raised to the
Yes,
minus
sir.
z, wouldn't it be minus y?
Yes, sir.
Just 1 minute. You are saying for this part, let's say we have exponential of t in right-hand side. What it is? It is just -z. Mariam?
T raised to the minus y, right?
No, it is, oh, just 1 minute. I have done mistake. Sorry. Y plus z and minus y. Okay, good. So it would be -5. So it would be -5. So the exponential of t is -5 and left hand side it is -2. Now it's correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So on solving, minus and minus would cancel out. So we're left with y is equals to 2. If we put this particular value of y in this equation, it would be 2 plus z is equals to 1. If we bring this 2 to the other side, it will be -2. So we will left with z is equals to -1, y is equals to 2, and x is equals to +1. So from this, we have just derived the value of x, y, and z. Then put all these values in the first equation, which I have just derived. F is equals to some k, m raised to the power x, b raised to the power y, and r raised to the power z. So the value of k was 1 given the question. Value of x is 1, value of y is 2, and value of r is -1. So in total, it will becomes mv squared divided by r is equals to 4. Is it clear? Ikra?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So first of all, write it down. Aisha, any doubt?
Done, sir.
No, sir.
Done this page?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Write this.
Done, sir.
Mariam, done?
Yes, sir.
Aisha?
Done, sir.
Okay. On the basis of this, let me give you one question. Let's say we have simple pendulum. Suppose if you have a support and there is a string attached with bob, which is swinging to and fro like this. For this, the oscillation of its time period, let's say t, depends upon mass of bob, let's say exponential x, gravity, y, and length of string, z. So on the basis of dimension basis, try to find the value of x, y, z, put k is equals to 2 pi and try to simplify it. T is nothing but time period, m is mass, g is gravity, L is length of the string. So this is your formula. And you have to define the value of x, y, and z. Put it in this equation and try to simplify it. Or you can write the dimension formula for this particular t. It would be m0 L0 t raised to the power 1. Mariam, check the exponential of L. Rest is correct. Aisha, any doubt?
I'm doing, sir.
So for the exponent of L will be y plus z is equal to 0.
Yeah.
Sir, is the L correct exponential of L?
Good. So this would be a final expression.
I need to know where I did the mistake.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Just compare the exponential of each term and try to obtain x, y, and z. Mariam, can you simplify further?
Okay, sir.
Exponential half can be written as under root. Okay. Yeah, have you solved?
So I was writing the. I'm not able to write. T is equal to 2 pi raised to 0.
Yes.
L raised to 0.
L is to 0. No. Let's just compare these two terms. Here we have m raised to the power x, and here we have m raised to the power 0. So x would be 0. L raised to the power y plus z, and in left hand side it is 0. And minus of 2y is equals to 1. So y would be minus 1 by 2. Put it to here, minus 1 by 2 plus z is equals to 0. So z is equals to plus 1 by 2. Okay, Aisha?
Yes, sir.
So on putting all these values in this first expression, it would be 2 pi m raised to the power 0, g raised to the power y, which is minus 1 by 2, and L raised to the power z, which is plus 1 by 2. So we can write 2 pi, any number to the power 0 would be 1. If a number containing negative exponential, bring it to the denominator, it will become positive exponential. And since exponential of both terms is same, so we have taken common. So it would be, and then exponential of 1 by 2 is also written in terms of square root. So it will be 2 pi root under L by G. Is it clear,
Yes, sir.
Maria?
Yes, sir.
Aisha?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have just defined how to derive relationship between different physical quantity. There is one or two questions regarding this particular concept. Then this particular whole topic would be finished. So we'll start with error analysis in our next class. So is there any doubt with today's class?
No, sir.
Okay, do you all got assignment related to principle of immunity?
No, sir. I'll check.
Okay.
No, sir.
I will tell to the sir. He will send you the assignment
Sir.
regarding this particular topic.
Sir, today, like, which all things you thought, can you give the extra questions of these
Yeah.
all things?
Yeah. He will send you assignment regarding these particular topics or the previous topics.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you,
Okay
sir.
then. Thank you.
Thank you,
Sir, could
sir.
Bye,
you show
sir.
the previous page?
Yes.
Could you show the previous page?
Okay. Just one minute.
No, before this. And the next one. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.